Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's market chat with myself, Greta Wall, and the leader of T3 Live's Momentum Express virtual trading floor, JR Romero. JR, thanks for doing this today. How's your trading day going so far?
So far, so good. Pretty choppy. We're just taking little stabs at the market here, scalping light, waiting for the rate decision and the SEP. So,
All right, so let's get right into our topics of the day today. Of course, the Fed decision is the big thing that's looming over the market. That will come out at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll get the FOMC statement and the summary of economic projections. Of course, no rate change is expected today, but the focus is on that SEP. And then at 2:30, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be giving his post-meeting press conference. Also a major focus there for the market to get a hint of what he is saying. As of this morning, the market expectations are still about 55% for a June rate cut, but this could, of course, change drastically later today based on what the summary of economic projection shows and also what Powell himself has to say. So let's talk a little bit first about how you've been navigating the market this morning ahead of this decision. I feel like the market kind of just stalls on days like this while you're kind of waiting for that 2 p.m. So how do you navigate an environment like this where there's maybe not so much volatility happening while we're in this waiting period?
yeah, it's a great way to get chopped up on a day like today, right? You have a lot of false breakouts, false breakdowns. The S&P's stuck in a very tight range between 52.38 and 52.47. So it's a very, very narrow range as participants await the decision. What I do on a day like today is scalp the very obvious technical bounces, fade the pops, and just play the levels if I do anything at all. There was some strength early in the session in the Bitcoin miners, so we took a little Mara along. That was good. Bought some Tesla off the lows twice. That was pretty good. And other than that, I'm really not doing much of anything.
So I'm not going to ask you, of course, to predict what the Fed's going to say later today, because obviously none of us really know what the Fed is going to say later today. But I know a lot of traders go into days like a Fed day with plans of if A happens, I'll do B, or if C happens, I'll do D. What kind of strategies did you come into today's session with that you're hoping to capitalize on, between that 2 to 2:30 time, maybe the 2:30 to 3 time while he's speaking, and then up into the close later today?
So my strategies on the day and my outlook, general outlook. Yeah. So it concerns me that so many people expect a pullback in this market, and the SPX to me looks ready for a Elon Musk style SpaceX explosion through 5190. So I think a lot of people may be actually caught on the wrong end of the trade here. However, there's some key risks that we need to factor in. There's a distinct possibility that our dot plot actually shows us 2 rate cuts for the rest of the year as opposed to the expected 3. And I'll note it would just take 2 participants to change from 3 to 2 for the median dot plot to move for a total of 2 cuts. So I think the market may be overlooking that potential risk. So that is the surprise I would be looking for today, personally.
Okay. What's your favorite part of a Fed day to trade? Do you like this morning part where things aren't so crazy, or do you like that 2:30? I feel like the 2:30 to 3 o'clock when Powell is talking, it's usually kind of just like the most volatility that happens on a Fed day, up and down, as people are really trying to gauge what he means by what he's saying. What's your favorite part to trade?
Well, I hate FOMC mornings. I told my traders this morning, guys, cash is a position. If you're not a fast, agile scalper, this morning may not be for you. I said choppy with a chance of meatballs. So, you know, on FOMC announcements where we actually get a summary of economic projections, I like to trade aggressively off the gate, especially if there's a surprise like we had in December. I mean, we went pedal to the metal in December, traded it very aggressively to the long side, and we were expecting Powell to sort of talk down and sort of try to fan out the flames, and instead he poured gasoline on the fire. So we just it was a wild day. So today I plan to be a little bit more aggressive right off the announcement, since we do have a dot plot to work with. If we get 2 instead of 3, I'm going to be shorting the market aggressively. But I don't think that we're going to get this biblical pullback a lot of technicians keep talking about. Every dip in this market is being bought. I mean, could we get a retest of 5104 in the SPX? Sure. Yeah, why not? And could we even go lower, have a 2-wave corrective back to the breakaway gap there on February 22nd around 50.36? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't see this momentum slowing down anytime soon. And I say that as a technician, not as a fundamental analyst, which I'm not. I only play one on TV.
Well, the other big news that's been in focus this week has been Nvidia's GTC Conference. This is a look at the chart as of 9:48 earlier this morning. Nvidia kind of approaching that 21-day moving average. That's the orange line there. What's been your big takeaway so far from Nvidia's announcements this week? They, of course, announced new AI, a whole new brand of AI chips, Blackwell, and then also new software, saying they're looking to become more of a software company than just a plain chip maker. What's been your takeaway for the AI space? You've had some good thoughts on this in the past, so I'm interested to hear.
I think nerds are misunderstood. Jensen Huang is an absolute stud, and the company he has managed to transform in Nvidia is nothing short of astounding. I think that as soon as the market begins to understand the significance of the recent technical developments, I think that we're most likely going to go much higher. So, people were expecting Blackwell to come in around $40,000, and it can't, and that's not correct. It starts around $30,000, and it has 2.5 times the transistor count, with a potential 30x in processing power, which is nothing short of astounding. So my enthusiasm around Nvidia has not waned whatsoever. I think the market has yet to digest what that's going to mean in terms of the company's success overall. To add to that, the power savings for customers are enormous, and the value add of the stack, seems like a phenomenal value add that will do, I think, a lot to stave off competitions and ensure that it is a mitigating factor in terms of competitive barrier of entry for some of their competitors. So, so like most of NVIDIA's sales of Hopper were in card form, and DGX servers were a material portion of that business. So I think this is a big potential catalyst for them that I don't think the markets suggests really successfully digested. Now the questions are, how is the company going to transition from the H100 to the B100 in terms of production and the supply chain and so on and so forth? And that is again way outside my purview. I'm not a fundamental analyst. I just play one on TV, but it could potentially be a negative catalyst there. But the company, again, they're starting to build. Well, they're not starting, but they're really improving on their stack, and the company's avenues in software, robotics, and automotive, along with their entire ecosystem, look incredibly promising to me. Blackwell is shipping in the third quarter. A delay of that would be a very negative potential catalyst.
Yeah. The stock, looking at the stock itself, yesterday, we started the day with a bit of what seemed like a sell sell the news type trade, but then of course it turned positive, and then today we're back down. Do you think today's fall is just a part of is a nature of what is currently happening in the market environment with the Fed, or profit taking on Nvidia itself?
I'm sorry, Greta, you broke up there a little bit. Could you repeat the
question?
Oh,
it's okay. So yesterday's action, looking at the stock after day one and after Jensen's big announcements on Monday, was a kind of sell the news type reaction at the beginning. And then, of course, the stock rallied and turned positive. Today, we're back down. I just wanted your opinion on what you think about the action that we've been seeing on Nvidia since the announcement.
Yeah, the Nvidia demand zones around 848.5 remain intact, and we're let me just delete some of this third grade level drawings here. So we're very much in a very healthy reaccumulative structure, lower volume, demand zones holding. I expect a base here to continue to build, and all eyes on 924.80, 925. I expect 977.88 to be taken out in short order, and by short order I mean potentially in the next 2 to 3 weeks, assuming the market doesn't come in.
So for everyone who's here with us live, I just want to let everyone know that JR's trading room, the Momentum Express virtual trading floor, is open this week. You can go to t3live.com/JRlive to sign up for that. You could get in for the rest of today and have 2 more trading days to trade live with JR. So JR, I want to talk about some of the trades that you've been doing this week with those people, with everyone who's been in your room, not just your normal members, but those who are also part of the open house. So walk me through maybe the top 3 trades that have happened in Momentum Express so far this week, the setups, how you executed, etc.
Yeah, so this week's been a really choppy week. There hasn't been a lot going on. Yesterday, we started shorting AMD right off the open here. So basically this entire move right into the double bottom, which was great. Again, playing the weakness in the semiconductors. Nvidia yesterday off the open. Sorry, my charts are a little wonky here. Right into the demand zone. So, we're scalping Nvidia 6 to 10 points at a time. And the reason for that is because this environment really is in a wait and hold, elevator music type of mode until we have an FOMC rate decision, and there's a little bit more clarity in terms of what the market can expect in terms of monetary policy. So what I'm doing until we have a better idea of what the market wants to do is taking those opening range breakouts or breakdowns, the imbalances off the open, playing the momentum for 5, 6, sometimes 10 points in Nvidia, 3, 4, 5 points in AMD. They're the names that have the most volatility in this market. We've also been playing Tesla a little bit to great effect, and just waiting until the FOMC. I've been telling my room the week starts on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So until then, we're really just in a holding pattern, and I don't expect a lot of movement. And I didn't expect a lot of movement in the market until that happens. So the idea has been to buy areas of strong demand and fade moves into fade the pops into overhead supply zones, and just keep our accounts healthy, keep our mentality, our mindset healthy, our psychology strong, because we're going to need it after Wednesday at 2. That's when the opportunities begin.
During times like this, where the market is in a holding pattern, what are mindset things for yourself that you use to keep yourself grounded and keep yourself from maybe chasing trades that really aren't there and forcing trades that don't really exist?
Yeah. So when you're in a transitional period within a range, the rule is 80% of the 80-20 rule. It's a very old rule. 80% of breakouts fail. 80% of the time at the top of a value area, you're going to retrace at least back to the middle of the range, the most traded area, usually called the point of control, or the bottom of value. So we're obsessed with value, supply, demand, and these stages of the market, and do a really good job of capturing gains within a environment with very low volatility and limited opportunities.
Mhm. All right, great. So just a reminder for everyone, that's t3live.com/JR Live if you want to get in the open house with JR and trade with him. Like he just said, the week really begins today. So it's not too late to get in there and hopefully catch some good trades after the Fed today and heading into Thursday and Friday. So JR, let's give everyone a preview of maybe what you are looking for in the days ahead. What's on your watch list this week? And what kind of trades are you hoping to do if everything falls into line for you based on what you're seeing on the charts and expecting later today?
So if we see significant drops in the dollar, the 2 and the 10-year, I will expect for interest rate sensitive names. I will expect for interest rate sensitive names to actually rally. So I'll be looking at gold, industrials, and solars to really make very strong moves off the lows. If we have no unexpected moves, I'll expect the tech rally to continue.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any specific trades that you're looking at, like specific setups on charts that you're monitoring?
Sure. So the Nvidia hourly chart is wedging here. We had a facey shakeout already into the lower band, and I expect this measured move to trigger us higher right here.
Mm-hmm.
So 961 would be the target on this measured move in Nvidia. That's the trade I am patiently waiting for, assuming we have a positive dovish outcome to this meeting.
Okay, great. A reminder for everyone who's here with us live, we have a good amount of people live, that if you have any specific questions for JR, want him to look at any specific charts, anything like that, go ahead and submit them in the comments and we will have him do that. So JR, in a week like this week, when you're having an open house and you're trading floor, you're obviously working with more traders than you typically do on a weekly basis. Yeah. Give everyone just kind of a synopsis of who you are as a trading mentor and a coach, and what people can expect to get from you if they were to join the open house this week.
Yeah. So mentor, that's such a serious word. I, as a full-time trader and a Jewish guy from Brooklyn, the thing I most emphasize with my people, with my traders, is for them to really embrace a trader mindset, not a technical mindset. And what I mean by that is, at this point, having been running a room for a few years, what I've seen is that a lot of traders with a very strong technical background really fail to execute as traders, because they while they have really good technical skills and they're really good chart readers, they lack a general sense of value, right? When are things a good value? When are things worth buying and selling? And that's the aspect of trading that's most difficult to teach, because those really are your merchant impulses, your merchant instincts, right? At the end of the day, traders are merchants. We're buying and selling assets. And so a keen understanding of value and what things are worth based on the technical picture of supply and demand and when they're worth more as they're going higher or worth less as they're going lower is something that I really like to help people understand better.
Great. Robert from YouTube wants to know your thoughts on Tesla. So if you can maybe pull up the chart and give us some analysis there.
So yeah, Tesla, as you guys all know, has been getting beaten up significantly here, and technically speaking, you do have a daily tweezer bottom, a breakaway gap, and a micro edge here. I'm expecting follow through pop and a secondary leg here. Let me get my drawing tool out. So I'm expecting a secondary leg into the daily 21 in a formation of an inverse head and shoulders, which is an accumulative pattern. You have a very strong declining tops line potentially to contend with in Tesla thereabouts, right? So I am expecting a measured move in Tesla to about 184. Whether we are able to form an accumulative pattern and break away from that declining tops line and fill the gap at 186.88 remains to be seen. Tesla's had a couple of positive catalysts as of late. They have Tesla increased the price on their Model Y, and also this morning the Biden administration decided to toughen their auto emission mandates. So, is there a potential measured move into that gap fill from March 4th? Yeah. Beyond that, you have to respect the great strength of the sellers throughout this move. You came in back to this area of value back from May of 2023 and bounced. It remains to be seen whether this is a bearish consolidation here, and we're just waiting for the shoe to drop, or whether we're going to put in a more of an accumulative type of inverse head and shoulders, a neckline, a second leg of a two-wave corrective, and then once this declining tops line is taken out here, yeah, maybe there's a move back to 206. But remains to be seen. There's a lot of negative sentiment about Elon. He's been getting very political and talking about ketamine use. I'm sure that that hasn't helped the price, and there's been the issue of margins and competition out of China with BYD. So I'm not expecting a major reversal in Tesla and a new longer term bull trend, but I do expect it to potentially give us a retest of the 184s and the 206s.
All right. And then Robert also wants your thoughts on coin.
Yeah, so Coinbase, we trade very actively in the room. Mm-hmm. Coin came in right to our daily 21. I had a bid on around 212 and a quarter. It didn't hit, unfortunately, and you can see here candle on the daily, and you're building a little potential neckline again right there. So you take out the 249.60 or so, you could potentially start to challenge this prior overhead supply line around 270. I do believe Bitcoin will be going to 100,000 eventually, and I can easily see Coinbase continuing its ascent. The measured move on Coinbase was completed already at 263.86. So like the next levels to watch would be like 295, 300, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the crypto market, Bitcoin is down now for the third day in a row. We hit that record high over nearly 74,000 last week, and then now we're around like 63,000, down about $10,000. What do you think about the kind of flush that's happened in Bitcoin over the past few days?
Crypto is most likely spaceport of the day trading world, right? It's just a wretched hive of scum and villainy. I I kind of ignore those moves. Let's just go to the Bitcoin chart. I focus on the weekly, and you can see here a very long base from June 2022 to you had a volatility contraction pattern here at 32.01. We had targets at 49,000 and 62,000, I believe, and those were easily hit. You can see a little bit of a topping pattern here after a little bit of a climactic top off the prior break of 69,000. But I believe that the weekly 5 SMA and the weekly 21 are going to hold. So I'm expecting consolidation here. You're going to need to digest this move through time, and eventually expect to move to 100,000. The thing you got to watch out for, obviously, is the strength in the dollar and the rates. If we see rates come in and money's cheaper, people are going to do stupid things like buy Bitcoin, right? So that's.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
gonna get angry emails. I'm gonna get lots of angry emails. I can tell already.
Ben from YouTube wants your thoughts on Microsoft.
Microsoft, one of my favorite companies as far as stock trading is concerned, and just a phenomenally well-run company with an impressive technology stack. Microsoft basically did nothing for 20 years and had a 16-year-old long base, and now basically, hold on a second. This is what I think about Microsoft, if you must know. 476.50 is the measured move on the cup and handle on the weekly, and I think it gets there this year. Very strong chart.
All right. Great. What would you say are your top 3 favorite stocks in the market right now?
My top 3 favorite. Well, I've been trading a lot of AMD and Nvidia for obvious reasons. I find them very easy to trade relative to a lot of other names. There's always some kind of monkey business going on, especially with Nvidia. So as a day trader, I find it just chock full of opportunities, even on a very quiet day. So I've been having an absolute ball trading AMD and Nvidia. I've been very active in the name, in both of those names. And as someone who makes a lot of their living cash flow scalping, I've been trading a lot of Tesla, even though the daily chart, it looks like absolute garbage. You have some really nice intraday moves that you can extract a lot of alpha out of Tesla in a very short period of time. So
right.
It's not for everyone, obviously.
So you say you're a day trader and a cash flow scalper. So what kind of trades can people expect most in the room with you? Again, everyone go to t3live.com/JRLive to join his open house. You can get more active trading ideas as JR is monitoring the market. Then of course he's giving here. But what can people expect? Mostly day trades, some swing trades, some scalps. What kind of skills does someone need to be successful in Momentum Express?
Yeah, when the market is trending or when we have a new sequence, you can expect me to take trades and hold them for 1, 3, 5 days, swing trades for weeks on end. And then for the scalpers in the room, I call them the degenerates. We have an abundance of intraday trade ideas. I just would like to remind people, it always feels like a choppy market will last forever, just as much as it feels like a trending market will last forever. And the constant in the market is that everything always changes. So we adapt our trade ideas based on market structure and the price cycle. So when things are trending, we like to take continuations and breakouts. When things are really shallow volatility wise, and range bound, we like to focus on the fades, fading pops, buying drops, etc.
All right, great. All right, so again, everyone, you can go to t3live.com/JRLive to join the open house with JR. Go right now, and you have an hour and a half until the Fed meeting, Fed decision rather, to get ready for that reaction. Again, JR said the market really opens for the first day today. Today is really day one. It's Monday today on a Wednesday. So lots of opportunities to come on either side, based on what the Fed has to say in an hour and a half. So JR, of course, is a real trader, and he needs to get back to trading. So we're going to let him do that now. Again, thank you, JR, for joining us for this today. And I hope everyone who joins the open house has a great week of trading, end of week of trading with you as well.
Thank you, Greta.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.